NXT has lost WWE $32 million. Alexis Carrillo here, back with some more wrestling talk content on the Alexis Carrillo brand YouTube channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button to get more wrestling talk content in the future. On a recent episode of the Jim Cornette Experience, Cornette made some revelations about how much money NXT is losing. Cornette said he was sent the yearly and quarterly reports that are available due to WWE being a publicly traded company. He revealed that NXT lost $32 million over the past 2 years, also stating that he wished he was allowed that luxury when he was running OVW a number of years ago. Now, that last remark about him running OVW and being allowed that luxury of losing money the way NXT has apparently over the past 2 years, I'm just going to skip over that, streamline over that, because that's way in the past. That's OVW. That's a time before this time that we're not going to go into discussion right now. But it is kind of surprising, but at the same time not as surprising to realize that NXT has lost WWE this much money. Because if you look at the numbers, well, the numbers speak for themselves. NXT in 2016 sold $7 million in ticket sales, but it spent $20 million in expenses, okay? So that's a $13 million loss. And then NXT last year, 2017, they sold $6 million in tickets, a little bit less than the previous year, but had way more expenses, $25 million in expenses for NXT. Not surprising, having the knowledge that NXT's budget is brought to them, it is given to them by WWE. Okay, so if NXT sells $7 million in tickets on a given year, the next year it doesn't mean that they have that budget. No, they are a subsidiary, if you could call them that, to the WWE, and the WWE gives them a certain budget. Now, $25 million in expenses, that's kind of understandable. I mean, the production of the show is really good. The stages that they build for NXT are really good. They travel a lot. They book live events. It's a touring company. It's a brand under WWE, so they will always have expenses. And I've seen some social media comments, that $32 million is just change to the WWE, and it doesn't matter that they lose that amount because, NXT is an investment. It's like college to the WWE. WWE is paying college for all these stars in the Performance Center, for all these stars in NXT, so that one day they could play in the major leagues, in the WWE. And I gotta say, it has worked out. These expenses, this investment has paid off, because without a shadow of a doubt, most of the stars coming out of NXT have been top quality, and they have been benefited by spending some time in NXT rather than in the old days going to OVW and essentially working there still as an independent company and then getting to the WWE and not being quite ready. So, I agree with most of social media. I agree with the fact that these are expenses. This is an investment by WWE. Okay? So, it's not that big news. Okay, it's not that big news to me that NXT has lost this amount of money, because it's the college to WWE's NBA, if you could call it that. And again, I know I say this again, and I know I defend this company a lot, but the narrative in the IWC is what really turns me away from discussions online, okay? The fact that if this story belonged to any other company, not being NXT, especially if it was Impact Wrestling, trolls, bad comments, bad publicity, bad press, everything would be hitting those companies in full motion, okay? That's not a doubt in this situation. But looking at the current WWE roster, both Raw and SmackDown and NXT and 205 Live, all the shows they produce, essentially whatever money that anybody decides to invest in Impact Wrestling, in Ring of Honor Wrestling, in New Japan Pro Wrestling even sometimes, is an investment, because if you look at the WWE's roster, it is full of those kinds of stars, okay? It is full of stars from those companies. But hey, that's just my opinion. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic. Would love to hear your feedback. Hit this video with a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe to the Alexis Carrillo brand YouTube channel for more wrestling talk content. Follow me on social media on Facebook at Alexis Carrillo and Twitter at _Alexis Carrillo. That's it for me. Till next time.